What's going on, y'all? So there's a lot happening at once when it comes to the situation here. Now, there's three things that I think that Drake is doing damage control for, and they're all happening at once. So I want to break it down with y'all and tell y'all exactly what could be happening in this case right here. As of June 11th, 2025, which would be yesterday as this is being recorded, Drake and UMG's lawsuit have been updated. Drake and UMG have been going back and forth. UMG had submitted another motion to dismiss. And after this motion to dismiss, the judge will finally respond how they will act moving forward. Will they dismiss it or will they continue? Now, this is happening while something else is happening with Drake and another famous streamer. Him and Cenat are expected to go live today on June 12th, 2025. It says here that Drake and Kai will be doing a stream together tomorrow. But tomorrow means today, as this was posted yesterday. That first of all, thank you to everyone who shared their video submission for Somebody Loves Me. We were blown away by the creativity and thought poured into each submission. We were supposed to go live today, but needed a little extra time to review them. Tomorrow, Drake and I are going to go through some of the submission with you guys, share some of my favorites and some of the not so good ones, and let y'all know which 20 people is going to get money to bring their treatments to life. Now, one thing that does not sit well with me when I read this is how they said that they were supposed to go live yesterday on June 11th, but they decided to go live tomorrow. But you want to know what else is happening tomorrow? It would be the GNX tour where they go out and perform in Drake's hometown of Toronto. It says here June 12th, Toronto at the Rogers Center. Now, this is very interesting because at the last minute, they had decided that they're going to go live when Kendrick Lamar and SZA will be performing in Drake's home city. Now, as this is going on, Drake is going through it with the lawsuit and UMG. In this lawsuit with UMG, they are going at it back and forth. It's coming around the same time that Drake decides to go on live stream with Cenat. Despite them saying that they were going to go live yesterday, they're going to wait until it's time for Kendrick to perform in Toronto. I feel like Drake is doing damage control for all of these things. This is when somebody with money and fame are trying to control the narrative, and we have to be very observant when things like this happen. Now that we pointed out that Drake is scheduled to go live with Kai the same time that Kendrick is supposed to perform in Toronto. Now remember, this is the first time that Kendrick Lamar will actually pull up in Toronto in a back-to-back date. He'll be performing for 2 days straight. While the live stream itself is a creative and engaging event for fans, its timing amid these developments add an extra layer of public interest and speculation. It remains to be seen how this will influence public perception and the dynamics between the artists involved. This is why it seems like damage control for me. When we look at the lawsuit that had just dropped, we have to remember a couple things. The judge is going to give a response to this soon. UMG's filing was very blunt. They called Drake's claims baseless, said his arguments rely on cherry-picked anonymous comments, and urged the court to dismiss it. That's a major hit to his defamation case. Going live soon after can redirect public attention. Kendrick in Toronto, a symbolic move within itself. Kendrick is performing in Drake's hometown, adds public narrative fuel. This is more than just a concert. It's a symbolic takeover in the middle of their ongoing lyrical and cultural feud. Drake going live at the same time looks like a counter move, trying to assert some type of presence of himself, but digitally. Funny enough, not physically. And as a side note here, I just want to point out how funny it is that Drake is deciding to go live instead of pulling up in Toronto and showing that this is his city. But the damage control that he's doing is when he goes on Cenat's stream and tries to help his public image, trying to preserve his public image. When you do live streams, they offer a direct access to fans and a way to control the narrative without any type of media filters. Even if Drake doesn't address the lawsuit or Kendrick directly, the act of showing up and trying to seem confident and in control sends a message. He's using this for marketing and to use as a distraction from the concert and the lawsuit. The live stream is doubling as a promo for his new single, Somebody Loves Me. It's a playbook move, blend with controversy with content drops to keep the spotlight. I'm willing to bet that this is Drake trying to do some type of damage control, as well as trying to control the narrative and the public opinion, while trying to gain the public's attention to draw eyes off of Kendrick Lamar's tour and the lawsuit. The Kendrick and Drake feud has been ongoing, one of the biggest cultural flashpoints in years. With Kendrick performing in Toronto tonight, Drake's own city, that's what people are going to tap in for the live stream. It doesn't even seem like they're going to tap in for the Somebody Loves Me song. Doesn't even seem like the song is relevant at all at this point. The public isn't really focused on the music video right now. At this point, people will only tap into the live stream to check how Drake looks as Kendrick is performing in Toronto at the same time. UMG's lawsuit that they had submitted yesterday in a motion to dismiss Drake's defamation case just reignited interest in the legal side of things. Their language was scathing, calling out Drake for trying to turn online comments into legal proof of defamation. This argument that UMG had filed undercuts the narrative that Drake might want to push publicly. So if Drake is doing a live stream the next day, the timing is very hard to ignore. The live stream with Cenat feels less like a music promo and more like a public relations move. Fans are tuning in not to hear about the song, but to see if he responds to Kendrick, gauge his energy post-lawsuit filing, to check his energy after the lawsuit was filed, and to check his body language for signs of confidence or deflection. That's the only reason why people are tapping into this live stream. They don't care about the music video. Nobody cares about this music video. A lot of social media conversation is not about the song itself. It's about the drama, the positioning, and whether Drake is folding or fighting back. Not only that, but let's talk about how Drake had mentioned Cenat in his complaint, the amended complaint that UMG is responding to at this time. Drake's decision to go live with Cenat is very interesting given the fact that Kai was named in Drake's lawsuit against UMG. Earlier this year in the lawsuit, Drake alleges that UMG removed copyright restrictions from Kendrick Lamar's diss track, Not Like Us, allowing content creators like Cenat to monetize their reaction videos, thereby amplifying the song's defamatory content. Cenat's reaction video to the track garnered over 9 million views on YouTube, making it one of the most watched responses. Kai had clarified during a live stream that he was not being sued directly. He expressed his surprise upon discovering his involvement, stating that he didn't understand why he was named, but he later understood that this was Drake trying to use him as an example. So he kind of just let it go. And that's why he's cool with Drake now. Even though Kai isn't being sued, he is being looked at and snitched on by Drake after knowing that Cenat was mentioned in Drake's argument with UMG. One thing that I've always asked myself, and I'm sure others have questioned, how does Kai not see that Drake is manipulating him? Cenat was named in the lawsuit. He was not sued, but he was used. Drake was snitching on Kai, pointing the finger at Kai, essentially saying, look, even streamers like Cenat were reacting to the song, monetizing it, and contributing to the spread of these defamatory claims. So even if it's not a direct accusation, Drake dragged Kai into the middle of his legal narrative. Now he's going to host a live stream with him, promote a new single, and do it on the same day as Kendrick's tour in Toronto. From a strategic angle, it just all feels like manipulation and damage control. Control the narrative, use Kai's massive audience to steer attention away from Kendrick and the lawsuit, blur the lines, make it seem like things are chill. Like, look at me and Kai, we're all good. The lawsuit mentioned, no big deal. Look, me and Kai are cool. I know I talked about him in the lawsuit, but look, me and him are good. Look, we're cool together. He's doing a music video for me. It's not that big of a deal. However, Kai being cool with Drake doesn't erase the fact that Drake put him in a federal complaint. That's not a minor move. That's a serious documentation that lives in court records. So does Kai even see that he's being manipulated and Drake is using him to shift the narrative online? After the lawsuit and after Kendrick Lamar is supposed to set the stage in Toronto, does Kai even see what's going on right in front of him? It's hard to say, bro. He's young, he's rich, and he's riding a historic wave of influence. He might just see it as a win. Streaming with one of the biggest artists in the world, getting clout and music exclusives, maybe trying to look like a neutral party after seeing Kendrick Lamar dapping him up, despite him looking nervous. It just seems very odd how he just doesn't look at it like Drake is manipulating him. Because when you look at it from the outside, it really do look like Drake is just using him, not just for reach, but to sanitize a moment of legal and public relation heat. Whether he realizes it or he's okay with it, that's the part that people always question. If Kai doesn't see it now, others definitely do. I think that Drake is nervous about the lawsuit. He might not look nervous in an everyday sense, but there are real stakes in this case. UMG, when they filed that motion to dismiss yesterday on June 11th, it was very aggressive, arguing Drake's lawsuit was rhetorical hyperbole and non-actionable. If the court sides with UMG, Drake's complaint could be tossed entirely. That's a public and legal loss. It could also damage his credibility, especially if the judge writes a scathing opinion about the lawsuit. Even if he doesn't look nervous, there's a reason for concern. Going live with Kai could just be a strategic way for him to appear unfazed or try to even humanize himself after the situation. Now, as far as Kendrick in Toronto, this is going to be a massive type of symbolism going on. It shifts a cultural moment, even if it's just perception. It reminds the people who won the rap beef in the court of public opinion, and it could push Drake to reassert himself digitally, if not musically or physically. So Drake's live stream could also be a way of him saying, I'm still here, I'm not phased, I have fans, I'm reacting to the fans' music for my music video, all things that he's trying to spin to look unbothered. However, in my opinion, I don't think a live stream is going to help anything at all. This man just sold out a whole entire stadium at your hometown. But for sure, this live stream is definitely doing one thing, bro. It's all damage control. He's trying to control the setting, no interviews, just him and Kai. Control the topic. Technically, it's going to be about his new single. Controlling the tone, no cross-examination, no direct legal talk, just a conversation between him and Kai. I really don't think that Kai has been keeping up with the lawsuit at all. And if Drake is facing legal and cultural issues at this time, showing up like this is a classic PR move. Release a little attention to cool the situation, but don't give anything away. Kendricks' Toronto show is a power move. UMG's motion to dismiss his case is a very heated legal battle, and all of this likely forced Drake to show up. Whether it's out of nervousness, pride, or calculated optics, the live stream is very likely a response to apply some type of damage control, and it's not just for promotion. He's trying to damage control Kai, he's trying to damage control Kendrick Lamar going to Toronto, and he's trying to damage control this lawsuit. But he's not slick, bro. I could see it a mile away. You pop out as soon as all of this shit starts happening, as soon as all of these things start happening at once. You decide to do a live stream. You were supposed to go live yesterday when nobody was performing, and now that Kendrick is going to perform, you decide to go live that day. But this is something that's interesting to point out because it shows you how somebody that's famous or that somebody who has the means like Drake could use the media, the internet, the public, and Cenat, use all of them to try to manipulate the public and people, to try to shift the narrative, to try to distract people, to try to gain their attention away from what's happening. Because we know that Kendrick performing in Toronto is a power move and a cultural shift within itself. But y'all tell me how you feel about this and get back to me. Do y'all think that Drake is manipulating the media? Do y'all think that he's manipulating Kai, the situation, trying to do damage control? Y'all tell me in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace. Keep it a legend.